Hello everyone. In this video, I will talk about the importance of vaccination in the current pandemic situations. And first of all, I will introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Rifki Arifin and I'm from Indonesian Railway Polytechnic Madiun. Until now, the coronavirus pandemic has not ended. COVID-19 has caused a lot of losses in almost all countries in the world. From children to the elderly, they cannot escape the threat of disease from the new type of coronavirus. So, when news emerged that COVID-19 vaccines are available, many people rejoice. The presence of these vaccines sparked hope for the recovery of global conditions. However, the COVID-19 vaccine is not a guarantee that the coronavirus will soon be erased from the face of the earth. No one can say for sure when a vaccine will stop the transmission of the deadly virus. In order to realize the hope of recovery, the active participation of people around the world is needed to get the coronavirus vaccines, including in Indonesia. To suppress the increasing number of cases, the provision of a COVID-19 vaccine has begun in Indonesia. The government also recommends that everyone get it. So, where should everyone be vaccinated? Currently, the COVID-19 vaccine is being distributed to all Indonesians. Giving this vaccine is the most appropriate solution to reduce the number of cases of COVID-19 virus infections. COVID-19 can cause serious and life-threatening complications, and no one is completely safe from transmitting the virus. From only 1% infected with COVID-19, it has the potential to infect dozens of other people even more. The COVID-19 vaccine is working to suppress that potential. Since the COVID-19 vaccine arrived in Indonesia, many people have not agreed to the government's recommendation to undergo COVID-19 vaccination. But in fact, the provisions of this vaccine is very important, not only to protect the community from COVID-19, but also to restore the social and economic conditions of countries affected by the pandemic. Vaccination or immunization aims to make a person's immune system able to recognize and quickly fight bacteria or viruses that cause infections. The goal to be achieved by giving the COVID-19 vaccine is to reduce morbidity or mortality due to this virus. For example, when someone infected with the coronavirus, their immune system or antibodies have been able to recognize the virus so that the chance of getting infection again are smaller. This means that he is more immune to COVID-19 than other people who have never been infected. By giving these vaccines, the body has already fought the virus so that if exposed to the virus, the impact will not be as heavy as other people who have never been exposed to the virus. In addition, the COVID-19 vaccination aims to encourage the formation of herd immunity. This is important because there are some people who cannot be vaccinated for some reasons. People who are not recommended to receive vaccines or who are not a priority for the vaccine, including children or adolescents under 80 years of age and people who suffer from certain diseases, such as diabetes or uncontrolled hypertension. So, by getting the vaccine, you are not only protecting yourself, but also those around you who don't yet have immunity against the coronavirus. The COVID-19 vaccine can indeed bring many benefits by protecting us from coronavirus infections. However, please note that this vaccine is not given to people who are seriously ill or haven't been infected with the coronavirus. So, make sure to always maintain your immune system while waiting for your turn to be given the vaccine or after. This is because with a strong immune, You will not get sick easily so that your body fitness is maintained. Some way to increase endurance are eating foods, exercise regularly, managing stress, and getting enough rest. And now the question that arises is how safe is the vaccine COVID-19? In the manufacture of vaccines, safety is the main factor that is of concern to health work and experts, included when developing a COVID-19 vaccine. In order to ensure vaccine safety, there are a series of procedures that must be adhered to. The procedure covers preclinical to clinical trials in three parts. Most vaccines take many years to be used. Therefore, it's natural to have doubt about the vaccine that is available in a very short time. Although the development of a COVID vaccine is relatively fast, the preclinical test procedure to the third stage of clinical trials is not abundant to ensure its safety. Already made COVID-19 vaccines have been tested to determine their safety and efficacy. The testing includes trial of community volunteers from the results of a series of tests. Then the vaccine is submitted to the relevant authorities for permission to use. In Indonesia, BPOM has granted emergency use permits for a number of vaccines. The MUE has also issued a halal fatwa on the use of the COVID-19 vaccines. So there is no longer any reason to refuse vaccination. And what are the side effects of vaccinations? There are possible side effects of the COVID-19 infection according to research. The COVID vaccine can cause side effects from both the first and second doses. Example 1. Pain. 2. Swelling, redness of the injection skin, fever, fatigue, weakness, headaches, muscle aches, chills, joint pain. There have also been reported allergic reactions following the COVID vaccination. If you want to get a vaccine, you must explain to the vaccinator if you have certain allergies. Recipients of the vaccine will be under monitoring for at least 15 minutes after vaccination. Officer will observe whether there is a reaction that appears immediately. Most side effects of the COVID vaccines appear within 3 days after vaccination and disappear on their own up to a maximum of 1 week. If you have a fever, take a paracetamol and rest. If the pain persists, contact your doctor as soon as possible by explaining that you have received the COVID vaccines. It should be underlined that people who have received the vaccine can still be infected. Therefore, vaccine recipients must still comply with healthy protocol. If you feel you have symptoms of COVID, immediately self-isolate and undergo a swab test. If you have had COVID-19, should be vaccinated. In general, people who have been exposed to COVID-19 have acquired immunity from the virus that caused the disease. However, according to the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention or CDC, people who have tested positive for COVID can still benefit from the COVID-19 infections. There is not enough information about how long a person can be protected from COVID-19 after he is infected and has natural immunity. Preliminary evidence from a number of studies indicates this natural immunity doesn't last very long. There are cases of reinfections or people reinfecting COVID 3 months after the first infection. Therefore, the recommendation is for people who are contracted COVID to be vaccinated 3 months after recovering. In the transportation sector, when you want to travel, one of the conditions is that you have been vaccinated at least at first dose. If people who have vaccinated can be said to have sufficient immunity to avoid COVID-19, for people who have not vaccinated can be called not have sufficient immunity to fight the COVID virus. Therefore, for people who have not done the vaccines, their mobility is limited to suppress the transmission of the virus. That is why it's important to vaccine to form herd immunity, which can stop this pandemic. Okay, now we are at the end of the video. Thank you very much for your attention, guys. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care of yourself and always apply health protocol. Okay, thank you and see you next time.